welcome. We have an incredible quote that we have been posting stories on all week. If you've seen hashtag hire, you want to watch this video so we can share about this quote, what it means to each person here in the Reveal tonight. This is our story sales class, and we are so excited about sharing our stories with the world. And guess what? Stories sell. So we love it. So the quote is, surround yourself only with the people who are going to take you higher. And that's by Oprah Winfrey. One of my favorite quotes, actually. I got to pick the quote. It's been truly an honor and a blessing. I'm truly grateful to be here with this panel. We're going to start off with Miss Dana. And these stories are so incredible. I can't even go through each one. Everybody brought so much creativity and realness. I even love the logical stories too, but the hashtag hire this week was awesome. So I want to go straight to you, Dana. What do you feel about this quote, the hashtag hire, and the stories this week? And you're on mute. Do you love that when it happens?
All right, here we go. I love this quote. I have a motto, which is always move forward. We should always be moving forward in life. You know, we should never be in the same place that we were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We should always be doing something bigger, better, greater, and then always teaching others to do the same as well. So when I see this quote, surround yourself only with the people who are going to take you higher. Wow, that means that you can't be around people who aren't going to push you, okay? Because sometimes we need a push. So we need to surround ourselves with people that are going to push us, help us to meet the goals and dreams that we have, and help us not to be stagnant in life. And I also see that we should also deposit into those people's lives too, which means we're also helping them to move further, move forward. Back to you, Kiwi.
Thank you, Dana. I love that. And, you know, we should share our talents. That's even scripture. I love it. Okay, let's go then next to Miss Dole McGee.
Thank you, Kiwi. Thanks for having me. Okay, so this quote, surround yourself only with people who will take you higher. What that means to me, and what Dana said is really, really good, that resonates as well, is, you know, there's this saying that says that you become like your circle of the closest 5 people to you. And so for me, higher impacted me this week because last weekend I had a huge task to get done. And I didn't know how I was going to get done, just John and I, and that was to get the beach house ready for renters. And so my team in my office suites, they all jumped in, volunteered. There were 7 of them, said, hey, we'll come down and help you. And so one of my photos that I picked, that I put was higher, was showing one of my office suite mates standing on my counter in the kitchen, cleaning higher up on the shelves. So we want to surround ourselves with folks that's going to raise our vibrations, not bring those vibrations down. And so that's going to help push us to those limits, hold us accountable for those goals, and help us achieve them even higher and higher than we ever thought we possibly could do. So back to you, Kiwi.
Yeah, and I love that story. And how awesome is that to have a team of people just to say, hey, I'll come help, right? So it's truly great to have good friends that give to you, and then we give back in return. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's go to Nicole. How do you feel about hashtag hire?
Oh my gosh, I have absolutely loved this week, and I so appreciate the quote, Kiwi. Thanks so much for choosing it. I have been on a little bit of a nostalgic journey this last week. I went back to my high school, got to visit a friend who was graduating from college. My son came home, and I've just had a reminder nearly every day, not only inspired by all of you and all of your posts, but to just be reminded that there are many people in my life who have come around me when I thought, there's no way I'm getting through this. There's no way I could possibly move any further than where I am now. You know, in those moments of self-doubt, or those moments when you just really think, that's it, there's nothing else, I don't have any more. All the hands that have come my way over my lifetime, and in the periods of time where I really needed it most, when I didn't know how to ask for what I needed, those hands came to me and got me through some amazing times. So this has really been important to me, and all of those people have lifted me definitely higher. Back to you, Coach.
Thank you for sharing. And it's just not taking those friendships for granted. Even if we don't talk to people in 5-10 years, just picking up the phone and saying, hey, I'm so thankful for you at that time in need. You helped me. Such a great reminder, Nicole. Thank you. All right, let's go to Lenore.
Hi, and thanks for having me this evening, Kibi.
Hey.
And for me, everything that everybody has said so far, it resonates with me as well. But for me, it was a week of reflection, and it allowed me to reflect back over my life, the good times and the bad times, and the people that were there to surround me to lift me higher. And I had the opportunity and the privilege this week to run into a couple of people that maybe even I have encouraged to take them higher, but they encouraged me, like some of my insurance clients. And that have really become my friends and like my girlfriends. And so I posted some pictures this week of people that I had the privilege of meeting up with this week that has inspired me and blessed my life. And also today being Memorial Day, I reflected back on one of my personal mentors since I've been involved in network marketing. And not only, I appreciate him so much because not only do I appreciate him for the service of the country, keeping us safe, I appreciate him for serving others and lifting others higher, even and not knowing what they're going through as well. So that's kind of where the quote took me this week, just reflecting back on people that have touched my life, surrounded me to lift me higher. So back to you, Kibi.
So good. Such great reminders to keep those people close in our thoughts and to make sure we think on the prompting that when it comes in our mind, we let them know how grateful we are. And that was a beautiful story and post you did, Lenore. And I personally know this guy you're talking about, and it touched my heart too. So we definitely want to get him tagged in that post so he can see it. Thank you so much for sharing. Next is Noelle.
Hi. So, well, my favorite thing about this quote, but the hashtag that was in it, hashtag higher, was I thought of so many songs I can put in the videos with that word in it. And of course, my husband helped me with that too, because some of them I had the lyrics wrong. So we got a good laugh out of that. But I think this group here personifies this quote of being with people who excel, the dreamers, the doers, the believers, the people who walk every day strides to being greater. And, Lenore mentioned the network marketing company that some of us in this group are a part of, that the mission and the vision of that company, that's part of the reason why I'm a part of it, because I feel like they have this higher vision for people's life, health, journey.
Mm-hmm.
And last I would say, and I know Wanda's going to bring this in for us, but what it meant to me, and I may not have portrayed it enough in my stories, was a higher power, my faith in a higher power. So I always feel surrounded by that, and that's a blessing.
Yes, I love it. And you and I piggybacked off of a story with the same song, which was we did hashtag higher, and it was the Creed, Can You Take Me Higher? And I love it. It just brings tears to my eyes. It's just it's so awesome. Thank you so much, Noelle. All right, next up is Lori.
Hello, thanks for having me on. Well, last week when you revealed the hashtag higher, my mind immediately went to one of my favorite scriptures, Isaiah 55, and part of verse 9 so are my ways higher than your ways, and are my thoughts than your thoughts. So I guess I lean to the spiritual side this week with the hashtag higher, leaning into that higher power and higher thought process. We don't have to understand everything to have faith, to surrender to our higher power. If we remain positive, and keep moving forward, and we surround ourselves with people who want to help us go higher, we can't go wrong. And I think someone just said it, but this group is a perfect example of folks from all walks of life. You know, we're from all over the US, but we just want to, you know, see everyone in this group succeed and go higher. And that was just, I guess, my line of thought this week.
Yeah, I truly love it. And my stories were kind of a combination of that as well. What I tried to do was celebrate others in my life, which many of you have already mentioned, and hashtag higher on that, because they have been a part of helping me be a good person and be that higher person. And of course, then the communities of people we have, not only in our network marketing companies or in our businesses or this class. This is about a community and of people walking together, locking arms, and taking each other higher. So thank you, Lori, for sharing that. And Noelle, you as well, for sharing that too. Okay, let's go to Kat.
Hi, I loved this quote. I love higher. Jump out of a plane, obviously. I like it up high. But I loved what Noelle said in particular, talking about this group, just a really positive group of people, being around positive people, being around coaches, getting coached. People who have actually been down the road before you and can help you go forward is just, it's huge. I got to spend the weekend with a group of really awesome ladies that I'd gone to college with and hadn't seen them in a couple of years. And they were all so bright and smart and had so much to add. And we had these really intelligent conversations, and it was just awesome. It was a great week for it. So thank you.
No, thank you for sharing, because that prompted me to say that sometimes we're around people and they're not at our level as far as mindset. Maybe they're not at, we haven't seen them in a while, but they're not getting the personal growth we are. Sometimes that's in our own homes. But Kat, what you mentioned is that we can find positives in everybody. We can learn from everybody, and that's a skill. And way to go higher with that. I love it. Thank you. I heard you. All right, Miss Kay.
Hi. Definitely higher, and people you surround yourself with. This whole week with seeing all the people and their posts, and I had a different relationship relative to each one was lifting me higher as a group, and which was the other times I was doing comparing, and this week was all lifting me up. And then there's a quote that I have that says, well, when you set your goals really high, you're going to stumble, but that doesn't matter that you stumble. The point is that you get up and you keep moving and you take step by step. And this week I actually moved houses. So it was the step by step of box and box and decision. And the new house is so fantastic, but to have, well, I don't have the energy to do that. So I could say, okay, I'll get it this far. Somebody can take it this far. And just who you choose to surround yourself with when you have conference calls, who you choose to surround yourself with for any project is just so grateful and so important that we consciously choose that. So thank you, Kibi.
So true. And I just had a big group session with like inner circle folks, my circle, and we talked about that. And you weren't there, Kay. So you're like totally lined up. And it's so true. What you said about our stories and how we're looking at other people, a lot of times we do that comparison thing. But comparing does not lift us higher. What will lift us higher is that positive thought that, hey, I'm going to get there. I'm going to look like that story soon. Like there's hope that I can get there. And my stories look that good, or my posts look that good, right? So we turn it positive. And I love what you said. that this week you decided to let these stories take you higher. Love it, Kay.
Inspiring. The stories inspired me. It's like, oh, I like that.
So good.
That reverberates of a higher thought. Yes.
So good. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, next up is Wes.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm going to piggyback off of what Dawn and Dana talked about earlier. I mean, we are the average of the 5 people that we hang with the most. And if you look at your average salary, take your salary and then look at your 5 nearest friends, you'll find your salary is the average of those 5. And the idea is to surround yourself with people that make more so that you can go higher. But my post this week, when I looked at the higher, I went more towards the spiritual side as becoming a higher person, expecting more out of myself. And I think the phrase, I did the post the one week, it was Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer always said, it's not about choosing right or wrong. It's about, or rather than choose right, choose peace above all things. And I think that's about what I was trying to come across with all my posts was we need to choose peace. We need to choose peace. We need to choose love. We need to choose to be higher. That's it, Kibi, back to you.
That's like speechless stuff, Wes. I love it. And yes, you know, I always look at who I'm hanging with, and if they don't push me a little and get me uncomfortable, I'm always like exit. Like Kat, I try to see value in everybody, all my friends, everybody, but I want to hang with people that call me to a higher place. Sometimes we got to scrape our knees, right? We're going to have to scrape our knees, and that's uncomfortable, but nothing grows in the comfort zone. So I love that. Thank you for sharing, Wes. Okay, Wanda, you're next.
Thank you, Kibi. And everybody's posts were beautiful. And as Kay said, they lifted me up. They made me think and lifted me higher. But I more went toward the higher power, because that's my first thought when I think of higher, because if we don't have him to be our higher power, then we're nothing. I mean, he is everything. So I kind of lean that way, and all the family and what he has created for us, the flowers, the air, everything, that just kind of brings me higher, makes me feel higher. So I appreciate everybody's quotes, and let God lead us. Let him be our higher power.
I love it, Wanda. And it's really about everything is God's. We just get to borrow it. So we better take care of it. I love it. Thank you so much, Wanda. Okay, Joe, you're next.
Well, the posts this week were very inspiring. I was really more focused on, like Memorial Day coming up. I'm sure people saw some of my posts were really more towards the veterans and remembering those people. And with the times being the way they are, sometimes we forget about that this isn't just barbecue weekend. This weekend wasn't designed so we could have a 3-day barbecue weekend and go to the beach. Kind of reminded me of, because I had friends that were in the service. I had friends that I lost in Vietnam. They went to Vietnam that didn't make it back. So at this time of year, it's really kind of I shouldn't say it's a fun time of year, but I always think of them, and I always think of we've just kind of gotten away from that as a country more and more, and just lifting people up, lifting them up. The people who serve that have difficulties even now, lifting them up. And I was lifted up by it too, all the posts and everything, but I wanted to really post some things more than probably most people did, honoring them and just doing that. And I also found out this week that a really close friend of mine has a very serious illness. He probably will make it through, but very serious. And I've been really focusing on uplifting him and just being doing that for him, being there just as a friend.
Joe, thank you for holding me accountable. So this is what I'd like to do. If you guys are watching live right now on Facebook, or maybe you're on the replay and you're still with us and you're still watching and you're inspired, I want you to tag someone you love that has been in the service, okay? Because we want to honor them today. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you, Joe, for keeping me accountable. And if anybody on this panel has served, please unmute and say me and tell me a little bit about where, how, when. Go ahead. Who's first? Just unmute.
Kiwi, I served in the United States Air Force back in 1982 to 1985. I was based in Lubbock, Texas. I spent some time in North and South Dakota.
Thank you, Wes, so much.
Kiwi, I served in the United States Army from 1992 to 1994. I was stationed in Lawton, Oklahoma at Fort Sill. It was very exciting stuff. I loved my service time, and I'm grateful to have had an opportunity to be a part of the military, even for a brief moment.
Thank you so much. I know there's somebody else. Go ahead and unmute.
I was waiting so I could do it all at one time.
Well, you're up next.
Okay, well, I served in the United States Army from 1980 to 2002. And I had various assignments, locations, too many to name. But this week's post hire, it reminded me of the guy at the gym, my trainer. He always says, push yourself harder. You know, he's like, don't go over there and, you know, you have to push yourself harder. So don't hang out with people that's not going to lift you higher, you know, basically is what he's saying, you know, because he breaks us down in groups. So it's like the easy group, the, you know, the medium group and the difficult group. And everybody always wants to go to the easy group. So my thing is, no, I have to keep going higher to the different levels. And also with the products, I switched from Super Mix to XM Plus. So I said, I'm taking this, my product journey higher.
Right.
So, and just like everybody else, you know, people in my life and, you know, that I think back over and I'm like, wow, if it wasn't for this person pushing me, you know, I wouldn't be to the level I'm at today, because I have several people that pushed me even when I didn't want to be pushed. So yes. That's it. Back to you.
I love it. Thank you, Denise. And you just remind us that every area of life we need to take higher. And sometimes it means mentors, coaches, trainers, whether it's our health life, personal goals, financial goals, in order to be pushed. Yes, we must surround ourselves with good, positive people, but sometimes we need to invest in trainers. Thank you for that reminder, Denise. Okay, Kathy H., if you want to share, you're the last one in the group, so you can kind of wrap us up.
Well, I got pushed the last couple of weeks by this Nicole woman. So I've been listening to Rachel Hollis, and today Rachel Hollis was talking about spending the that you were the culmination of the five people that you spent the most time with, and that if you were the smartest person in the room, you needed to leave.
That's so true.
Yeah. So I'm in the right group. I don't need to leave, and I learned from everybody. It is so amazing, and I did used to compare. I'm like, okay, I did compare. And now you realize that we're just pushing each other and we're here for each other. And that is a higher calling. I mean, this group has just brought us all higher, I think.
Sure. And I love it. I love it. You are so true, Kathy, that if you're the smartest person in the room, there's a problem. Like, watch out. That's comfortable. Right. And I love it. I love it. What you said and what everybody said about this community. In the story sales class, that's what it's all about, is helping us all stay accountable to each other and encourage each other. So with that, Nicole, you got internet? You want to wrap us up? You want to close us out?
I certainly can. Thank you so much, Kiwi, for stepping in and interviewing. Awesome job. I am so proud of all of you for getting out of your comfort zone, for deciding to invest in yourselves, to build a genuine audience around things like this, because it doesn't really get any better than that. So with that quote, surrounding yourselves only with people who lift you higher by Oprah Winfrey. We are grateful for you, Oprah, and your example and all of the cool things that you do to keep us all going and lifting us up higher. And for this group right here, keep at it, and we will all keep reaching down and reaching up. Keep asking for what you need, guys. Have a great